everybody, welcome back to the Medical Projects YouTube channel. If you are new around here, my name is Olivia. I am a second year medical student at King's College London, and here at Medical Projects we've created this YouTube channel to help you get into your dream medical school. And so I'm here to offer all of my tips and bits of advice that I've learned along the way in my own application process and throughout my time at medical school to help increase your chances of getting into your dream course. If you like the sound of that, please make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and turn on the notification bell so that you can be notified every time we post. So for today's video, I am so excited to film it. It is an assumptions about medical students / medical school video. We asked you over on our Instagram to send us any assumptions you had about medical students or medical school in general, and you guys came through, and today I'm going to be answering them and spilling some tea, telling you if they're true or false, letting you know all the inside info about medical school. So I've got my laptop here, I've got all of your assumptions ready to go, and let's get on answering them. So the first assumption we have is I will never get in with a UCAT score below 2,400. I can say for a fact that assumption is false. Whilst getting a lower UCAT score does slightly limit your options a little bit more, you can definitely still apply to many different medical schools with this score. And if you need any more information, I actually recently did a video all about this. Make sure to check it out. It's all about the medical schools you should consider applying to if you've got a lower UCAT score. The next assumption is you need to do maths A-level in order to get into medical school. This is false. The prerequisite for most medical schools is chemistry and biology. A lot of medical students do it. They usually do chemistry, biology and maths because it's just quite a common trio to do. I myself did not do maths, I did geography. To be honest, if you think your maths grade is going to hold you back, pick a subject that you know you can just guarantee you'll get an A in and you'll get into medical school that way. The next assumption is they all love science but regret choosing such a difficult course before exams. I would say that's pretty true. Like, we're all pretty nerdy on the medical school course because, you know, we all love science, we're quite studious. I would say the stress and regret definitely kicks in before exams. In my personal experience, I find med school to be kind of chill throughout the year, but I think perhaps it's only that chill because I don't think about exams, and then when it gets to exams, it's no longer chill, and I should have maybe prepared a bit better throughout the year. But maybe that's just my personal experience. The next assumption is that all med students are insanely smart and always get really good grades at A-level. I personally don't think this is very true. I think it's better phrased, they work really hard. In order to get A-levels, unless you're a genius, you don't just fluke your way to getting good grades. So I say the thing we all have in common is that we're quite conscientious and we work quite consistently. Med students aren't all super smart. I myself am not super smart. I find a lot of things difficult. And you know, medical students, when they're in med school, fail exams all the time. So we're definitely not super smart. Students do get competitive with each other. I would say, to be honest, this is probably quite true. I think that because of the nature of the course and the fact that you're putting a bunch of quite like type A people together, you are going to have a bit of competition. Unfortunately, the way it works in medical school is that you are actually eventually ranked against your year and against the UK. I think like all the medical students get ranked against each other, and it can be a bit annoying, but I don't think it's like super noticeable unless you're actively competing, I guess, which I am not. Medical school is extremely stressful and demanding. I think this one's quite subjective because of course it does depend a lot on how you cope with stress and how you manage your stress. I came from a degree beforehand, so I personally don't find medicine as stressful as maybe I otherwise would have because I'm quite familiar with what study techniques work for me and how to like manage my time more effectively. I would say I do get stressed around exam season because medical school is one of those ones where when it gets to exams, you just realise, oh my gosh, I've got like 250 lectures to get through. And that's when it gets a bit stressful. But I think as with everything, if you're struggling, definitely speak to people, speak to your tutors, speak to your classmates, and hopefully it's a bit more manageable that way. The next assumption is medical schools really want you to intercalate internally. If you're unfamiliar with what intercalation means, it basically means where you take 1 year out from studying pure medicine and you can either choose to specialise in an area within medicine, for example, anatomy, or you can choose to specialise in something completely different. So you might choose to do languages for a year. Some medical schools insist on you doing intercalation, so that means you'll be applying for a 6-year course. That's definitely something to bear in mind when choosing your university you want to go to. As for intercalating internally, I'm not sure that's true because I've met many students that have intercalated in a different uni. Another assumption is so much content to learn. Do you know what? I can't even deny this one. There is an awful lot of content to learn. If you're thinking though, you're learning like the entirety of the human body, so they have no free time or friends, lol. I don't think this is true. I have plenty of free time. I always say try and work smart, not hard. Like if you don't need to spend 5 hours on something, don't. I think medical school is what you make of it. You can choose to lock yourself in the library all the time and, you know, get those top grades, but I think med school is about more than ranking first in your year, so I think there's definitely time to do loads of things. They have to give up on their social life. I disagree with this. I think that medicine is actually an extremely sociable subject, so that means you're always interacting with people. There's always loads of societies and events going on specifically for medics, so I found that I've been more sociable studying medicine than I was studying biomedical sciences. Of course, around exam season you do become a bit of a hermit, so maybe then you aren't as sociable. Med students study 6 to 8 hours a day. I personally do not. Around exam season, again, I would say that's definitely applicable, but on an average day, I would say maybe like 1 to 2 hours, maybe none at all, maybe 5 hours. It's all random, but I would say as an average, maybe 2 to 3 hours a day. They only date other medics. I mean, if I had any kind of knowledge on the dating world within medical school, I would tell you, but unfortunately I do not. Listen, I have many friends who are dating people outside of medical school, so it's definitely possible. Having said that, I can also see why medics date medics, because a lot of your time is spent studying, and sometimes people outside of medical school might find that a bit challenging if you're always studying for an exam or always super busy. I think I'd quite like to date another medic, because you could just share the burden of exam misery and just question why you went into the career together. Everyone tries to act like their favourite doctor from a medical drama. No, I mean, I guess my favourite doctor would be Meredith Grey, and if I was going to act like her, I'd have to be a competent surgeon, and I'm not. So I would say that one's false. They stay single because they don't have enough time to date. That's what I'm telling myself, so maybe that's true. They're stuck up and elitist. Not gonna lie to you, you definitely do get these people on the course. Of course, you're always going to get a few people that like the status of studying medicine. In general, I'd say people are super, super nice, and if you come across anyone like this, just steer clear and ignore them. Let them do their own thing. They're all terrible at maths. This came from one of my friends, and I think he knows that maths is not my strong point. I can't speak for everyone. I'm not the best at maths. I think in general medical students have like a working level of maths proficiency, so you are all from a rich and privileged background. Look, I don't want to make any assumptions about where people come from. I think traditionally, unfortunately, medicine does have that connotation of being from, you know, privileged backgrounds, but I think universities really are working towards widening access to medicine. Even at King's, I'm actually a part of the widening access to medicine program, and that means we're just encouraging other students from different backgrounds to apply and really reaching out to those that didn't think medicine was accessible to them. More definitely needs to be done, but I think a lot of universities are heading along the right path. Studying hard and spending less time with their families. Studying hard, definitely. Spending less time with your families. I think especially during the later years that's true, because you have fewer holidays and, you know, you're on placement all the time. And over the holidays in general, even now, I definitely do spend less time with my family because I'm having to study for so long. But I think, as I said, it's about how you keep that balance, so you can definitely try and minimize that wherever possible. Every lesson is going to be at 1,000 miles an hour and massively in depth from day one. I would say it depends on what lecture you're having. Like, if you're lecturing me about renal medicine, it doesn't matter if you go at like 1 mile per hour, I'm still not going to understand. So I think it definitely varies. Some lectures are much easier than others, and it varies based on the content and also the lecturer themselves. Another assumption is work hard, play hard. And I would say, in my personal experience, that's true. But of course, not everyone likes to go out and party, and that's absolutely fine. But in my case, it's a really nice way to get rid of some stress. But obviously, we can't do that right now because of coronavirus. But in the past, I've had a few good nights at Guy's Bar. So those are all the assumptions you sent in. Thank you so much to everyone who contributed. That was such a fun video to film. I really enjoyed it. If you want to send us any more assumptions, please do comment on this video down below or send us a message over on our Instagram. We always love to hear from you. Also, let us know in the comments if you're a medical student and if you agree or disagree with anything I've said. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel to see more from us, and make sure to go follow us on all of our social media links. The links will be in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. I look forward to seeing you in another video. Bye!